Little Scythe has 1 to 6 animal kingdoms racing to deliver goods, increase friendship, and other fun activities in order to earn trophies. Stonemaier Games provided this in exchange for an honest review. Players take their Seekers, player mat, 4 trophies, and an action token. On your turn, move your action token to choose a move, seek, or make action, then resolve. You may not choose the same action twice in a row, but may choose a different action in your current column. When you move both Seekers. When moving, you may bring any apples or gems from where you started. If you don't bring resources, you may move up to 2 spaces. Otherwise, you may only move up to 1 space. If on a portal, spend a move point to move to any other portal. Yep, including the one in the central Castle Everfree space. You may only move into the Castle Everfree space to deliver exactly 4 apples or gems. Well, your personality card may change this, but I'll explain that later. Anyhow, the delivery can be split between Seekers, but the entire delivery must occur in a single turn. After delivery, the involved Seekers transport back to base camp and are rejuvenated. Remove your action token from your board, then gain either 1 magic spell card or 2 pies on the pie track. If a Seeker ends movement on a space with an opponent, you start a pie fight. Players take a pie fight dial and secretly choose how many pies to throw. The number of available pies is your pie track total. You may also attach a single magic spell card to your pie dial to increase the number of pies thrown. Magic spells don't count against your pie supply. Players reveal their dials and cards simultaneously, and the higher pie count wins. Ties are broken by the attacker. Players then adjust the pie track depending on how many they spent. The losing Seeker returns to their base camp to be rejuvenated, leaving any resources behind in the space. The winner remains in the space. If your Seeker ends on a space with a quest token, remove the token and draw a quest card. Immediately resolve the quest by paying the resources depicted in the blue or red sections and gaining the shown rewards, or by choosing the gray no thanks option. Fulfilled quests go next to your mat. Unfulfilled quests go back at the bottom of the deck. The Seek action allows you to roll a combination of 4 dice to place resources and quest tokens on the board. The red dice give apples, the blue dice give gems, and the yellow die gives quest tokens. The color of the die symbol tells you where to place the item. Seek items can't go in portals. If you put an apple or gem on an opponent's space, gain 1 friendship on the friendship track per resource. Each space can hold an unlimited number of resources, but only a single quest token. The Make action allows you to trade resources from both Seekers for a bonus. 2 apples for 2 pies, 2 gems for a magic spell, 1 apple, and 1 gem for a power-up tile. Draw the top 3 green move or 3 blue make power-up tiles and add 1 to your mat, then return the rest to the bottom of the stack. These are permanent upgrades for the rest of the game, and each tile is unique. After completing a task on the trophy track, place 1 of your tokens here. Other than the final turn of the game, you may only achieve 1 trophy per turn. A task may only be completed once per player. At the beginning of the game, players receive 1 of 8 personality cards. These cards help make earning 1 of the trophies a bit easier. Once a player claims their 4th trophy, the endgame is triggered. Each other player may take 1 final turn in order to achieve as many trophies as possible. The player with the most trophies wins. Ties are broken by friendship, then remaining resources. Gather and deliver resources, resolve quests, and start some pie fights in order to be named the new ruler of Pum. That's My Little Scythe. Even solo games of My Little Scythe need a dining table. The board is large and player areas are about as big as a placemat. Aside from the quest cards, experienced 5-year-olds might be able to handle this. When I was 5, I was playing Tokaido, and while this game is very different, the number of player decisions and options is kinda similar. Try a handicap. Have the kids start with that trophy already so that they have a head start. Once they're better at the game and their reading level is well above the quests, introduce the full game. Once you know what you're doing, 3 to 4 people can play in about 30 minutes, including setup and takedown. This game is best with 4 or 5 people. It's me and my parents 75% of the time. Thankfully, you can use the bot in more than just the solo game. This is a clever addition that I'd love to see more often in games. In our first game of My Little Scythe, Dad managed to get a trophy on consecutive turns to trigger the end. On my absolute last turn, I finished a quest and delivered apples to Castle Everfree to time with 4 trophies. Thanks to my friendship tracker, I won the tiebreaker. Mom was left in the dust with 3 trophies. Close game. In my Pie in the Sky review on Friday, I'll talk about an even closer game. I'm not a huge solo gamer, although that is changing a little bit, but My Little Scythe's solo game is pretty solid. The bot can get a lot of pies though, so pie fighting will be a tough task. I mentioned this in Family Facts, but I love that the bot can be used at other player counts. In fact, I would only play with fewer than 4 if we could use the bot. It's like Villainous in that you can't pick the same action twice in a row, meaning decisions, especially late in the game, won't always be easy. It may be a kid-friendly game, but it can require planning to complete tasks, and things won't always work out as you planned. Can it be a little mean because of those pie fights? Sure, if someone steals your stuff, it's a downer, but rejuvenating isn't bad at all. Maybe apples/gems people place near your base can now be easily scooped up, or those magic spells you've been collecting can allow you to take your goods right back. You're down, but far from out. The rules are simple and without any confusing exceptions. Someone who knows the game can teach it in 5 to 7 minutes. I recommend a practice round with kids so they can see how the actions work. I'm very happy that you only need to collect 4 out of the 8 trophies. It keeps the game reasonably short, another good thing when playing with children, and gives you different paths to victory. The theme is very charming. Cartoon animals doing things like becoming friends and having pie fights. It's so cute. The components are really good. The minis are gorgeous and very easy to pick up and move. By the way, there's a painting guide for them that gives you the backstory on all of the characters and kingdoms. Nice. The apples and gems are pretty, and especially look good on a full board. Everything is easy to see across the table. There are no tricky icons that are easy to forget or mix up, and the colors just make me feel happy. My Little Scythe is honestly a cartoon on your game table. Taking a pie to the face is more of a laugh than a nasty act, and while you're all racing, it's definitely friendlier than in, well, pretty much any other game on our shelf. It's a perfect way to introduce young children to common game mechanisms, all the while being a pretty good time for people like us with tons of experience. With that said, if your kids are already loving games like Chai, Flashpoint Fire Rescue, and so on, this is probably a bit too simple for them.